Hey, I'm really tired right now. I wasn't gonna make this video, but I'm trying to when I have some extra time or whatever, make more videos or whatever. But sometimes I hear readings or whatever, and they really uplift me or they make me feel better about my situation. Cause it's like even though I'm close to God, it's like when you hear certain things in readings, you're like, okay, I've been recognized. So, okay, if you know a reader is calling out and you know you've been doing the right thing, and they're calling out that you've done the right thing, and God that sees it and He's pleased with you or whatever, it makes you feel good because you're like, okay, especially even though I confidently know I'm doing the right thing or whatever, meaning I'm not living a life of sin or whatever, and I'm living in my truth. But sometimes, like with them little petty, silly readers or whatever, it can kind of get to you because the way I am. And this is how I've always been as an empath, as an Aries, whatever. A lot of times, people will sometimes depending on how I'm really feeling. But sometimes people will take a dig and I'll just overlook it and not say nothing. Sometimes they'll say something and I'll immediately just say something or whatever. And then sometimes it'll be like a couple of shots here or there, here and there, and then finally I'll just shut you down or whatever and just really just go at you or whatever. So it's like instead of just doing it because I'm online or whatever and teaching, what I learned is to kind of start, just if I know somebody's silly or whatever, or if I know they're just a liar, it's like instead of just wondering if you're a liar or if you're telling the truth or this or this, it is just best not to watch you anymore. Because if you did that in general, that just shows your character. Especially like if you know the energy of a person. That's one thing that irritates me, and it's like the people. It's like I sometimes, like I said before, because I'm online or whatever, and it's not just even online or whatever. So and don't act a fool or whatever, say the wrong thing. It's just the fact that God or whatever, it's the God in me, and the fact that I know God watching me be stopping me from really saying what I could say. We'll just say could say. So we'll just say that. But I'm just like I said, tired or whatever. A lot of the things that I've been through over the past year with this and this and that and that, all this other stuff I've been through, isolation spells or whatever, just being isolated and being gang stalked and just by a particular group, what it does is it can kind of turn you not bitter, but it can kind of turn you like it can enrage you in a sort of way where it's like anybody coming up to you just kind of got your nose turned up, especially if they look like familiar to the people that you've been gang stalked by. But just overall in general, it don't really matter about no race or whatever, black, white, whatever. It's just certain things or whatever. It's like it could turn you off to people in a sort of way. So we'll just say that. But one thing I always try to tell people, if you know you're a real person and people do something outside the norm, you get a funny vibe or whatever, something outside the norm that you would ever do, then that's how you know you're dealing with some demons and fake people. But that's only if you're a genuine person. Like, for example, people can play all day and be like, nobody did a ritual on you, nobody did a death spell on you, nobody did this, nobody did that. But in general, ask yourself, this is how you can always tell if a person is lying. Pay attention to their response, and then also look at the situation. If you had a child, if you had a family member online, and they're saying all this stuff or whatever, and revealing certain things, or whatever, even if tarot readers didn't exist, how would you react if you saw a child online and they're saying you're doing magic on them? If you weren't guilty of it, you would immediately correct it, right? And I said this in another video. Would you just sit in silence? No, because it's kind of like it's telling you that you're guilty or whatever. So when people are silent, what it does is it leaves you in confusion because you know it's like you know the truth. You may have readers telling you the truth or may not, but it's like that keeps you. That's like a game that certain people play or whatever. And they don't have to be, I'm not just talking about that narc. I'm talking about in general. It's like that's a manipulation tactic or whatever. It's very emotionally abusive because it's like, you know what I'm saying, until a person finally wake up and be like, okay. So I know I would never do nothing like that to family, to whoever. So I know anybody doing that is nobody that got to be around me because that's the money. I had looked up some stuff on position and they were saying that demons getting inside people can cause people to be mute or whatever, be mute and just watch you. One thing about me, I do not like certain people with certain spirits in them. And this can be any race, any race. I don't like people with them spirits in them that when you walk by, they give you like a little envious look and look you up and down. They're judging what you have on. I don't like stuff like that. Women, I cannot be around it, and it's not just black people that do that. It's just in general. It could be a stuck up person that does it. It could be a person that does it that's just like insecure with their own self, so they feel like they gotta. I just that irritates me or whatever. It's just. And I'm not just really on here just to like complain and just be like this and this and that and this and that, but it's just like it's hard. As a star seed, as a chosen one, as an empath, and I'm just one of many. It's very, very hard to live in a world where people don't think the way you think. That's why I try to like break things down and switch them in a certain way. Even on videos I've deleted, it's like I try to get people to see the world through not just my eyes. And I'm not God, but I'm God's child. So and I'm an empath. I think just like Him, or whatever, in a certain type of way, because I have His attributes as a chosen one. But it's like I just try to get people to think, if this was being done to me, but a lot of times, like sometimes it's like I'm kind of in a way getting out of it slowly, 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 because it's kind of like I'm just coming to the realization that people just do it and they don't give it up, they don't care. What else I was gonna say? I hate talking about that narc situation, but I know I gotta get online and talk about it. One thing you gotta know about narcs, and I always say that they're possessed, is because, and this is just what I've heard. They said that a couple of readers said that the narc is because he got played, and he's mad at you for warning him and telling him that he was getting played. He didn't want to know. He wanted to live in his delusional reality. They said because he's online, because you exposed him or whatever, whether online, offline, and you not just exposed him, but you told him the truth, and he got played. He feels some type of way because he got played. So now he's coming forward he's trying to do magic to bind you to him, and love spills, sympathy spills, whatever, to try to get you to come to him because he's too PUSSY to apologize. So he's trying to bind you to him and get you to come so he won't look stupid, just so he can play you again. That way he can feel like he has some kind of upper hand or whatever. Narcs, they think in a very awkward, backwards way. And the only reason why they do stuff like that, knowing that they had a good person they had they beg, it's not because they're afraid of love. It's because they have a demon in them or whatever. Just think about it. You ever been in a relationship with a narc and you look at them, and a lot of people say this too. It's like they give you a real demonic stare. It'll catch you off guard or whatever, but it's like if you just look, it's not a stare like an exorcist type stare. It's like a stare like they're jealous of you. The reason why narcs are jealous of you is because they lived in a different type of life than you have. You have to really think in your mind what would make a narc what make a narc just try to constantly go to different women and destroy them? And this, besides just hiding your sexuality, what makes them do certain things? What makes them gang stalk? What make them try to kill off and do a death spell on somebody that had their back? The only person that was a true friend of them. It's not magic. It's the fact that they were degraded. I've heard this before too. But this, I'm saying what I've heard, but I'm also gonna put my spin to it. They've been degraded a lot their whole life, bashed and this and that, no integrity, they have a family with no boundaries, no respect. So when you come and you've been abused or whatever in some type of way in your childhood, but you're not. You're still a good person. You still have love because they don't have that. They envy that you have that or whatever. Narcs envy you. Narcs, they get jealous of your special gifts instead of being proud that they have somebody like that and boast it and want to show them off. They want to compete. They want to tear you down because they feel like you think you're better than them, and in no way do you ever think nothing like that. You just have knowledge, and God uses you to try to help other people, but other people look at it, and that's only demonic people think like that. Only demonic people. And that's what I had to get online and try to realize. It's like, why am I getting online explaining myself? I'm very, very humble. I don't have nothing to stick my nose up about, nothing to be like this. I have spiritual high confidence because I know who I am with God. And I know that on this earthly realm, you have to have this material in the eyes of other people in order to look a certain type of way. But real people of God, we don't care about that. That doesn't matter because, like I told you, when you die, you can't take none of this stuff with you. Matter of fact, I get turned off by guys. And it's not just guys that fancy cars with money. They don't turn me off because that would be kind of silly or whatever. I don't like men who use their material positions or immediately flash money or whatever and think that's going to get you to like them. That'll work with them gold diggers or whatever, of any race, of any size. Big booty, small booty, large, full size, whatever. That'll work for a woman that wants you for your money. Women who are just I just say true empaths or just true women of God. We don't care about stuff like that, and it'll show or whatever in the way that we act. We don't, it's like we don't give a darn about that type of stuff. I get turned on, and I don't mean in a sexual type of way. I mean, I just get turned on by people that are real genuine, that do stuff out the norm, stuff that'll really catch my attention because when you're so used to meeting fake people or silly people or ignorant people or of any race of whatever, it's people that are false. It's refreshing to meet somebody real or whatever. So, that's what'll catch my attention. That's what'll make me be wild. Somebody that's finally real, not putting on no fake fronts, not playing no games, not trying to be manipulative. That's rare or whatever. That's why I respect people who honor people who are empaths and treat them right with respect because it's rare. It's rare to find. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to say that you have to be very, very careful or whatever of you have to be very, very careful of trying to attempt to let old people back in. That's why I get online. I'm not gonna do it, period. But I'm just getting online because there's other people that are going through this and probably still confused or whatever. It's nothing to be confused about. If you know you're real, you know you're solid, you know how you would act, and you know somebody is doing something completely against that, you automatically know you fake. That's one of the best tricks you could think about. Compare what you would do as a real righteous person and stop making excuses for people. When you stop making excuses for people and you just judge people accordingly on their character or whatever, not saying nobody can't make mistakes, but judge people accordingly on, like, just for real, like, was that really necessary or what was their heart, or would you do something like that? And that's the best way you can decide if a person is meant to be around you or not or whatever. So that's all I want to say. Is that I can't really think of a title for it. I gotta think of a title for this video because I'm just ranting or whatever, but that's all I wanted to say for right now. That's where I'm at right now. So that's it. Have a good night.